everybody. Today we're diving into something pretty special.
Oh, yeah.
Yirra Care.
Okay.
It's an organization in Australia, and they are all about creating incredible experiences for people participating in the National Disability Insurance Scheme. You probably know it as the NDIS.
Yeah, the NDIS.
So our mission today is to really get under the hood of what makes Yirra Care tick,
I like it.
and also to help all of you listening out there see if maybe their unique approach might be a good fit for you or someone you know.
Sounds good.
So to get started, can you give us a quick rundown of what is Yirra Care all about?
Yeah, so Yirra Care is deeply integrated with the NDIS.
Okay.
And it's not just about, offering fun activities, right?
Right.
It's about helping those NDIS participants actually achieve their goals.
Okay, so using their NDIS plans to work towards the goals they've set.
Exactly.
Got it.
And the NDIS, as you may know, is a government program in Australia that provides funding and support to people with disabilities.
Right, yeah. It's all about helping individuals, live more independently and participate more fully in their communities.
Exactly.
So, okay, that makes sense. So how does Yirra Care actually work with those NDIS participants then to effectively utilize their funding?
Well, they have a team of professionals who work closely with each and every participant to understand, their needs and their goals as an individual.
Okay.
And they help them figure out which activities would best align with their NDIS plans.
Yeah.
And then they also support them in actually, accessing that funding they need to be able to participate.
Okay, so they actually help people navigate the system as well.
Yeah, think of it as like a partnership
Okay.
where Yirra Care helps the participants navigate that NDIS system, and you'd really get the most out of all the resources available to them.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
It sounds like they're very, very committed to making sure that care is personalized
Yeah.
and empowering the participants to kind of, take control of their own journey. But let's get into the activities themselves.
Yeah, sure.
What kind of experiences does Yirra Care actually offer?
They have a pretty impressive range, actually.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. From group sessions that focus on well-being to these hands-on creative workshops, and then even these exhilarating outdoor adventures.
Oh, wow.
They've designed a program with literally something for everyone.
I am intrigued. Let's start with the group sessions.
Okay.
What are some of the highlights there?
So they have this really unique empowerment yoga program. And it goes beyond your typical yoga class.
Okay.
They've adapted the poses and the techniques to be accessible to people with a bunch of different disabilities.
Okay, cool.
And those instructors, they're trained specifically to work with NDIS participants, right? They provide modifications and support to make sure that everyone can participate safely and comfortably.
That's amazing. So it's not just about the physical flexibility, it's about inclusivity as well.
Exactly.
So what kind of impact does this adapted yoga have on the participants?
So participants have actually reported a pretty wide range of benefits.
Oh yeah.
Like improved strength and balance,
Okay.
reduction in stress and anxiety.
Makes sense.
But what's really fascinating is the ripple effect that this has on their lives in general.
Interesting.
Yeah, a lot of participants say that they feel, more confident and just more empowered in other areas of their lives as well.
Wow. It sounds like it's about a lot more than just exercise.
Yeah.
It's like building a sense of self-awareness
Yes.
and resilience.
Exactly.
That kind of goes beyond just the yoga mat.
It's definitely.
Are there any other group sessions that are kind of focused on that, like well-being and stuff?
Absolutely, yeah. They offer an empowerment sound healing and meditation program.
Okay.
It's a really carefully curated experience, actually.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. And they use therapeutic sounds like Tibetan singing bowls and chimes and gentle music. Yeah. And those vibrations and frequencies, they're thought to promote deep relaxation. And they have a really calming effect on the nervous system.
Wow, that sounds incredibly soothing. Is there any specific guidance that's provided during these sessions?
Yeah.
Okay.
Participants are guided through certain techniques to help them focus on their breath and release tension and connect with a sense of inner peace.
Okay.
It's a super gentle and supportive environment.
Yeah.
And it's a space where participants can really explore different ways of calming their mind and their body.
It seems like Yirra Care understands that well-being has a lot of facets.
Yeah.
And they're offering lots of different approaches to help people find what works for them.
Exactly. And that holistic approach is really woven into everything that they do.
Right.
They recognize that physical, emotional, and social well-being, they're all super interconnected.
So it's not just about addressing the specific needs, it's about supporting the whole person.
Exactly.
I'm really impressed with their thoughtfulness. Tell me, are there any other group sessions that kind of focus on that, like, mind-body connection?
Yeah, they have a breathwork session where they learn a range of techniques to kind of control their breath and calm their minds.
Okay.
This can be really helpful for managing things like stress and anxiety.
Oh, that's such a valuable skill. It's something you can use anytime, any place, just to regain that sense of control.
Totally. It's like having a toolkit of strategies to navigate all the ups and downs of life.
Right.
And Yirra Care is helping them build that toolkit through these sessions.
It's incredible how something as simple as breathing can have such a profound impact on our well-being. So we've talked about the well-being activities, but I know Yirra Care also offers creative outlets as well.
Oh yeah, tons.
So tell me more about those.
Yeah, and their approach to creativity is just as thoughtful as their approach to well-being.
Okay.
Like take their Mexican kitchen workshop, for instance.
Okay.
It's not just about learning to cook.
Okay, I'm all ears. What makes it special?
So they use authentic recipes and fresh ingredients.
Okay.
And they're teaching those participants some really valuable cooking skills that they can actually use even after the workshop is over.
Right.
But it goes even deeper than that.
Deeper how?
Well, for many participants, this is a chance to connect with their heritage.
Oh, wow.
Explore some new flavors and just experience the joy of creating something delicious with their own hands.
Yeah.
Plus, it's a great way to improve their motor skills,
Makes sense.
practice teamwork, and boost their confidence in the kitchen.
It sounds like a feast for the senses and the soul.
It is.
It's amazing how something as simple as cooking can have such a ripple effect on different aspects of a person's life.
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah.
And that's a key part of Yirra Care's whole philosophy, right?
Okay.
Finding those activities that really spark joy
Yeah,
and have a lasting positive impact on their lives.
absolutely.
Another great example is their art and craft workshop.
Okay, cool.
They offer a variety of different techniques, from painting and drawing to sculpting and jewelry making.
Oh, wow. So there's something for every artistic inclination.
Exactly.
But how do they make that accessible for people with disabilities?
Well, that's where their personalized approach really shines.
Okay.
They provide adaptive tools and techniques. They break down complex tasks into smaller steps.
Okay.
And they offer like that one-on-one support to make sure that everyone can participate and express themselves creatively.
Right.
It's about removing those barriers and fostering that sense of accomplishment.
It's beautiful. Creating a space where everyone can tap into their creative potential regardless of ability.
Right.
Now, I've heard whispers about a drum session that sounds incredibly fun
Oh yeah,
and energetic.
it's amazing.
What can you tell me about that?
It's not just about like hitting drums.
Okay.
It's about experiencing the power of rhythm and music as a group.
Yeah.
They use all kinds of different instruments, from like traditional drums to shakers and tambourines, and the facilitator will kind of guide the group through these different rhythms and patterns,
Ooh.
creating a real sense of unity and like shared energy.
I can imagine the feeling of joy and release that comes from drumming together.
Totally.
Is it physically demanding at all?
It can be as gentle or as energetic as the participant wants.
Okay.
The facilitators are really skilled at adapting the activity to suit different abilities and energy levels.
Right.
Some participants might prefer to just sit and play a smaller instrument, while others might be up for a full-body drumming experience.
Right.
It's all about finding what feels good for them and just letting the rhythm move you.
It sounds so inclusive and adaptable.
Yeah.
What kind of benefits do participants experience from that drum session?
Well, participants often talk about feeling a sense of connection with the group, a release of stress and tension,
Makes sense.
and just like a boost in mood and energy levels.
Yeah.
Some even say they feel more focused and alert afterwards.
Oh.
It's a great example of how Yirra Care uses music and movement to promote both physical and emotional well-being.
It sounds like they've struck a perfect chord, pun intended.
Yeah, I like that.
Now, I can't let you go without talking about their outdoor adventures.
Oh, of course.
You mentioned wakeboarding, kayaking, and even paragliding.
Yes.
Those sound incredibly exciting and maybe a little daunting.
Yeah.
How does Yirra Care approach these activities?
With expert guidance, safety precautions, and a healthy dose of encouragement.
Of course.
Yeah, they partner with experienced instructors who are passionate about making these adventures accessible to people of all abilities.
Oh, yeah.
They provide specialized equipment, adaptive techniques, and one-on-one support to make sure everyone can participate safely and confidently.
That's reassuring.
Yeah.
I imagine that safety is paramount, especially with activities like these. But let's talk about the experience itself.
Sure.
What's it like for the participants to actually engage in these outdoor adventures?
It's transformative. Participants often describe feeling a sense of freedom and accomplishment and connection with nature
Wow.
that they've never experienced before.
Can you give me an example?
Sure, imagine someone who uses a wheelchair, feeling the wind in their hair as they glide across the water on a wakeboard.
Wow.
Or someone who has always dreamt of flying, soaring above the landscape while paragliding.
Yeah.
These are experiences that can really shift perspectives, challenge their limitations, and create memories that will last a lifetime.
It's incredible how Yirra Care is really pushing the boundaries and redefining what's possible for people with disabilities.
I think so.
But it's not just about the thrill, is it?
Yeah.
There's a deeper element to these adventures.
Definitely. It's about connecting with nature, building their resilience, and fostering a sense of self-belief.
Right.
Participants often talk about overcoming their fears and pushing their limits.
Yeah.
And discovering a new sense of confidence and capability.
It sounds like these adventures aren't just about the activity itself, it's about that personal growth.
It's exactly.
Yeah, empowerment.
And that's reflected in the way that Yirra Care actually structures these experiences, right?
Okay.
They provide a lot of preparation and support leading up to the adventure, and then they debrief afterwards to kind of process the whole thing.
Right.
And they celebrate every milestone along the way.
Yeah.
It's a very holistic approach that really recognizes the emotional and mental aspects of these challenges.
It's clear that Yirra Care has a really deep understanding of the needs of these NDIS participants.
Yeah.
And a genuine passion for creating these transformative experiences.
Definitely.
But I'd love to hear from the participants themselves.
Oh, of course.
Have you gathered any stories that really kind of illustrate the impact of these activities?
Yeah, I have. I'd love to share some insights from participants who have actually experienced Yirra Care firsthand.
Okay.
Their stories really bring the organization's impact to life.
Let's hear it. I'm ready to be inspired. What kind of stories have you gathered?
So let's start with Sarah. She's a participant in that empowerment yoga program.
Okay.
And before Yirra Care, she really struggled with anxiety and low self-esteem.
Okay.
She just felt so limited by her physical abilities.
Yeah.
But after a few yoga sessions, something shifted.
Really? What happened?
She discovered this inner strength
Wow.
and a peace she never knew she had.
That's amazing.
The adapted poses helped her connect with her body in a whole new way.
Okay.
And the mindfulness practices really calmed her anxious thoughts.
Makes sense.
And it wasn't just about physical flexibility, right?
Right.
It was about building that mental and emotional resilience.
That's incredible. It's amazing how a program like this can have such a ripple effect on a person's life.
It really is.
Yeah.
And it's not just Sarah.
Yeah.
A lot of participants in that yoga program, they talk about feeling more confident, more connected to their bodies, and more capable of handling life's challenges.
It sounds like Yirra Care is helping people tap into this wellspring of strength they didn't even know they had.
Totally. And they're doing it through a variety of different activities.
Right.
Take David, for example. He participated in that Mexican kitchen workshop
Okay.
and discovered a passion for cooking he never knew existed.
Oh, that's wonderful. I remember you mentioned how this workshop helps people connect with their heritage and explore new flavors.
Yeah, and for David, it went even deeper than that.
Oh, okay.
He said that the structured environment of the kitchen
Okay.
and the step-by-step instructions really helped him focus
Okay.
and feel this sense of accomplishment.
Yeah.
It was a boost to his confidence and self-esteem that really extended beyond the kitchen.
Wow. That's remarkable how Yirra Care is finding these unique ways to empower people and help them kind of discover these hidden talents and passions that maybe they didn't know they had.
Yeah.
What other stories have resonated with you?
Emily's story is particularly inspiring.
Okay.
She tried wakeboarding for the first time through Yirra Care.
Oh, wow.
And she was understandably nervous.
Yeah.
The idea of being pulled behind a boat on a board
Yeah, it's pretty intimidating.
and be intimidating for anyone, let alone someone who's never experienced anything like it before.
I can only imagine. What was her experience like?
It was a mix of fear and exhilaration.
Huh.
She shared that the instructors were so patient and supportive.
Okay.
They helped her adapt to the equipment and build her confidence.
Yeah.
And when she finally stood up on that board, and felt the wind in her hair.
Yeah.
It was just pure joy and liberation.
Wow, that's so powerful. It sounds like she really broke through a barrier, not just physically, but mentally and emotionally.
Totally. It was a turning point for her.
Yeah.
She realized that with the right support, she could achieve anything she set her mind to.
Wow.
And that newfound belief in herself, it extended to other areas of her life too.
Yeah.
It's really a testament to Yirra Care's ability to create those experiences that foster growth and empowerment.
It's truly inspiring. Do you have any more stories?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So Michael's experience in the drum session was amazing.
Okay.
He shared that he'd always loved music, but never felt confident enough to participate in a group setting.
Right.
But the drum session provided a safe and supportive space for him to explore his musicality and connect with others.
That's wonderful. It sounds like he found a real sense of belonging and self-expression through the power of music.
He did. He said that drumming allowed him to release stress and tension, improve his coordination, and just experience a sense of joy and connection he hadn't felt before.
Yeah.
It was a reminder that everyone has something unique to contribute, and that music can be such a powerful tool for bringing people together.
It's incredible how each of these stories highlights a different facet of Yirra Care's impact.
I think so.
They're not just offering activities, they're creating opportunities for personal growth, self-discovery, and meaningful connections.
Exactly. And these stories only scratch the surface of what Yirra Care is doing. They're constantly innovating, expanding their programs, and finding new ways to empower people with disabilities.
It's heartwarming to see an organization so dedicated to making a difference in people's lives. But it's important to acknowledge that Yirra Care's work exists within a larger context.
Yeah.
The NDIS, while a groundbreaking initiative, still faces a lot of challenges and limitations.
Yeah, you're right. Funding constraints, access barriers, and variations in the quality of service providers are all very real issues that need to be addressed.
Right.
It's important to advocate for continued improvement to the system so that all people with disabilities have equitable opportunities to thrive.
So while we celebrate the successes of organizations like Yirra Care, we can't lose sight of those systemic challenges that still exist.
Totally. Yirra Care's work really serves as a powerful example of what's possible when we prioritize inclusion and empowerment.
Yeah.
But their success shouldn't overshadow the need for ongoing advocacy and systemic change to ensure that everyone has access to these quality support and services.
So where do we go from here? What can our listeners do to actually contribute to a more inclusive and equitable world for people with disabilities?
That's a great question. I think it starts with awareness and understanding.
Yeah.
Learn about the NDIS, the challenges faced by people with disabilities, and the organizations that are working to make a difference.
Education is key. What else can they do?
Support organizations like Yirra Care,
Okay.
whether that's through volunteering, donations, or even just spreading the word about their work.
Makes sense.
Advocate for policies that promote inclusion and accessibility. Challenge your own biases and assumptions about disability.
Yeah.
And I think most importantly, treat everyone with respect and dignity, regardless of their abilities.
Those are all fantastic suggestions. It's about taking action, big or small, to create a more inclusive and just world for everyone.
Totally. And recognizing that we all have a role to play.
Right.
Every act of kindness, every voice raised in support, every step toward understanding can make a difference.
Well, this deep dive into Yirra Care has been incredibly enlightening. We've explored their unique approach to empowering people with disabilities, we've heard some inspiring stories from participants, and we've discussed the broader context of disability services in Australia.
It's been a really great journey of discovery and reflection.
Yeah?
And I really hope our listeners are walking away with a renewed sense of hope and a commitment to creating a more inclusive world.
Well, thank you so much for joining us on this deep dive, everybody. We'll be back next time with another fascinating topic to explore. Until then, keep learning, keep questioning, and keep making a difference.
The power of the disability.